Good morning, downtown Indianapolis. Looking out at the Salesforce Tower and our skyline there. I'm saying, baby, come back to Tuesday's weather. I knew it would be nice and that we want to hang on to it, but a morning like today just reminds us of just how cold it has been recently. We are back to cooler temperatures to start. But glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. It's 6 o'clock. It is Thursday, and much like yesterday, we're getting back to where we probably should be around February.
Yeah, we certainly would like a little bit of sunshine, but we're kind of in that time of year where it's a little bit, not necessarily out there, even though we've had the last couple of days.
Yes, we've enjoyed the sunshine while we've had it, but today clouds will be out there, so it may just feel colder.
Yeah.
Because even though yesterday was in the 40s, if you were in the sun for a second, you're kind of feeling it.
It was a little deceiving.
It was
Yeah,
deceiving.
you look out the window, it looked nice and bright.
Yes, it did.
And you get out there and you're reminded, yeah, it's February.
It's going to look a little great. It's going to look more February-ish,
Okay.
I think, out there today. No snow coming down or anything, just mostly cloudy skies. The clouds are building right now. You may still see some stars out there this morning, depending on where you're looking, especially in the eastern sky. But there are clouds building in from the west, and will probably turn partly cloudy and then mostly cloudy here into the late morning. Right now it's 24 degrees. It's a little bit colder this morning than yesterday morning. So once again, we're on the lookout for some patchy black ice. We got a lot of reports from you all yesterday saying, a couple of them were on the roads, but some folks said, hey, the road was fine. It was the sidewalks or maybe the parking lot. I was just trying to get some groceries. I was headed into a doctor's office, and that's where the black ice was the worst in the morning. So watch out for that this morning if you're headed out early. We're cold this morning, 19 in Marion to Tipton and Wabash. It's just 20 right now on the campus of Ball State. It's 21 in Lafayette, 25 good morning in Greencastle and in Rushville. It's 27 in Carmel and Fishers, 22 reporting for the Eagles in Zionsville, and some cold weather farther to the south too. We're stuck in the 20s from Bloomington to Brown County, south to Lawrence County. So make sure the kids are bundled up this morning. It is a chilly start. At least there's almost no wind. It's not a wind chill this morning. We'll get above freezing by lunchtime and recess, and we'll probably stay on the cloudier side with sun breaks on and off. We're starting to see more clouds build in from the west. You see some rain too. We're going to leave a small chance for a shower west of Indy, but not all this has even reached the ground. It is breaking up. And then coming up, we'll talk more about that system in Utah, which could give us some rain by Valentine's Day. Let's talk about traffic this morning. I've got one crash for you that we've been following, for about an hour now. It is on I-465 northbound lanes as you're coming up to 82nd Street here on the east side. You're eventually headed up to Benford Boulevard. They've zoomed the camera out. They may have just wrapped that up, so that's some good news. Traffic's flowing fine, and traffic's flowing fine here by the Costco in Noblesville. We do have some ice patches just off the road, so watch out for those if there are any wet spots as you're headed out the door that could be a little slick. Julia?
Thank you, Matt. Your time is 6:02. This morning we are sorting through new developments in the Haley Busby investigation.
The FBI, we've learned, searched a home where 39-year-old Tyler Thomas stayed while Haley was missing. Thomas is facing federal charges in the case of sexual exploitation of a minor and travel in interstate commerce with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct.
Now, this is the first time that federal agents have searched that property since Busby's remains were found. Police in Columbus, Ohio, searched the home last month.
And today, community members are invited to remember Haley at a celebration of life in Fishers.
That ceremony or service starts at 6 o'clock at I-Town Church near 136 and Brook School Road. Doors open at 5, and this is open to the public tonight.
And guests are encouraged to wear Haley's favorite color, which is pink.
Well, when we first learned some of the details of Haley's disappearance and the online connection, many parents had never even heard of the platform police say she was using, and that's scary.
It's really scary. So now school districts are being proactive, helping parents navigate the tech our kids are using just to help them keep them safe. Marina Silva is with us with what experts say parents really need to know right now about all of these gaming platforms. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. And it's ever changing, and it's a troubling thought, but the reality is that new apps and dangers seem to pop up daily. And that's why these parent night conversations at both Hamilton Southeastern and Brownsburg were about talking openly about the real dangers children and teens could see online and knowing exactly where to look. Court documents show Haley Busby played online games like Roblox and League of Legends and talked with suspect Tyler Thomas for more than a year. These apps have messaging and chat options so your kids can talk to strangers, and experts say predators use these apps to find victims. Experts say knowing how to start the conversation with your kids about these apps is very important.
If they're playing a game, watch them play the game. If they're using some app on their phone, ask them a question about the app. Be more engaged with your kids and kind of learn about what they're looking at.
For both HSC and Brownsburg, these events were actually planned months ago for Internet Safety Day, but as tragedy has hit, the interest has grown. And so many other experts are trying to help parents that want more information. So coming up in just a little while, we're going to talk to an IU cybersecurity professor so that what we as adults can do to keep the kids safe.
All right, thank you, Marina. Well, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is now setting up an office in Carmel.
Yeah, so City County Council President Matthew Snyder confirms this news, but he couldn't say when or where this is happening or even why.
Snyder did release a statement, though, saying in part that I support the rule of law and recognize that ICE is a federal agency charged with enforcing immigration laws and protecting our nation's borders and ports of entry. At the same time, the proximity of existing federal resources naturally raises reasonable questions about the necessity, coordination, and communication.
Now, we did talk to the Carmel police chief. He also confirmed ICE is establishing office space in Carmel, but directed questions to the ICE agency. We have reached out to ICE to ask about the reasons behind the move and even their timeline. We're waiting to hear back.
This morning, 6 people are recovering after a suspected mass overdose in downtown Indianapolis. This happened just before 10 o'clock yesterday morning near the Julia Carson Transit Center.
And that's where an off-duty officer happened to be, and he ended up seeing several people with similar symptoms and became concerned. So medics were there. 3 people, they understand, were in critical condition and taken to the hospital. 3 others were unstable.
This is the second mass overdose in Indianapolis in less than a year in a very familiar spot. Actually, in March, 6 people overdosed in nearly the same area.
Well, the Hamilton County coroner is asking the public for help identifying human remains connected to suspected Indiana serial killer Herb Baumeister.
Investigators believe that he killed dozens of men on the Westfield property in the 1990s. They've now identified the father of one of the victims, but they need help to ID the mother so they can put a name to these remains. You can see the victim's late father here in this picture. This is Jerome Harvey. He went by Jerry. He lived in Indianapolis most of his life, and he was married 4 times. If you have any helpful information or can help connect the dots on the victim's parents, you are urged to contact the Hamilton County Coroner's Office directly.
Well, Tippecanoe County Judge Steve Meyer returned to work for the first time since being shot. We just received this video from the Tippecanoe County Bar Association. Judge Meyer administered the oath of office for Judge Kevin McDaniel yesterday. Another judge is managing cases in Judge Meyer's court while he and his wife continue to recover from their injuries. 6 people are now charged in connection to the shooting.
IMPD's new chief is addressing a video that shows an intense interaction between an IMPD officer and a teenager.
Yeah, Chief Tanya Terry, only a week in on the job, discussing it last night at the City County Council meeting. So this happened during a student walkout protest near Warren Central when an officer saw a juvenile entering a car with a gun. Chief Terry says officers pulled the car over for a traffic violation, but she says the driver didn't initially follow commands and even turned away from the officers. That's when the video recorded what the officer said.
Well, she adds the video didn't show the de-escalation efforts before that moment where that officer is using profanity with the teen, and says that officers did find a loaded stolen handgun in one of the passengers in the car. She says both the officer's word, where he threatens to kill the teen, and illegal possession of the guns are concerning.
Let me be clear. The words used in that incident were unacceptable. That language does not reflect the values of this department or the professionalism we expect from our officers.
Terry says an internal administrative investigation into the officer's conduct is already underway, and the prosecutor is also reviewing the case. Well, this morning, leaders in Speedway are warning residents at an apartment complex about the dangers of raw sewage.
Yeah, it's another issue for the town after that boil water advisory that just let up last week. This one, though, stems from a complaint at these apartment complexes, the Legend at Speedway, last week. The inspector confirmed that raw sewage was illegally being diverted into the parking lot of this apartment complex. The owner, KPM Property Management, was given 48 hours to fix this problem, but we're told that didn't happen, and that's when they were fined.
So the Speedway, in coordination with the Marion County Public Health Department on enforcement, got involved. Town leaders are urging the apartment residents not to play in this area in the snow or let your kids be in this area and stay off the grass. And obviously, definitely don't wear your shoes in the house that you've worn in that parking lot, and don't play on playground equipment right now until everything can be cleaned up.
You can read more about this at WTHR.com. As of today, the BMV is no longer offering customers an option to change the gender on their Indiana driver's license or your ID card. This is after an executive order from Governor Mike Braun that directs state executive agencies to treat gender and sex as the same thing, defining both as, quote, an immutable biological classification. Your time is 6:11. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Julia. It is a little colder this morning. Some clouds are starting to come in, but we'll stay mainly dry today. There is some rain chances on the way coming up for the weekend, Saturday night, so Valentine's Day night. We could start getting wet. I'll let you know who has the highest chance for some raindrops when we come back.
The Olympic cauldron burning bright this morning as we take a look in Milan, the U.S. adding new medals and a new record. As competition continues, we have the big events you won't want to miss today.
We hope you'll join us tonight for our journey to Italy.
Yeah, tonight I want to take you out on the water to the largest lake in the Olympic host country. We're going to take you to Lake Garda. But the water isn't the only attraction in this part of northern Italy. We're going to talk about the experiences you'll find all along the coast.
We're also taking you to Cortina tonight and sharing its connection to a popular James Bond movie. The places you'll see in the Olympics where they filmed For Your Eyes Only back in the 80s. And we'll, of course, get you caught up on the day's Olympic action.
All when we see you tonight at 7 on our journey to Italy.